Hey.
We are live. I'm Kaylee, and this is my channel, Fantasmic Fandoms, and I have my sweet friend Heather over here
Hi.
from the channel, The Disney Housewife. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming on and joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I've been like waiting. I'm so
Aw.
excited. I was so happy that you agreed to come on. I'm unfortunately sunburnt, so I'm sorry I look a little weird. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I feel like I look so odd with this sunburn. But yeah, so I always kind of start off these with talking about how we like met and kind of like how you've been on my YouTube journey, like our experience, I guess, which honestly, I don't remember the first time like I interacted with you. I feel like it had to have been, I don't know. It's like I try to like, there was like before when I was on YouTube back in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like the after when I came back in like 2020. And I'm like, I don't remember. How long have you been on YouTube?
Since September 2018.
Okay, so I feel like maybe I like kind of I feel like I did like see you on a little bit right before I left. So I like took a big hiatus
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back and we have some mutual friends.
Right.
So Nina and Allie and I'd been seeing you on some shows and stuff and y'all do the pajama party, which is so much fun. I love seeing you on the pajama party. Um and you are a Christian like me. That was
Mm-hmm.
really encouraging and nice to see on here as well, because I feel like that's sometimes hard
Yeah.
to be on here. And um, so that was nice. And we ended up doing some swaps together. So really
Mm-hmm.
and truly, like you've just been so nice and kind and welcoming to me. And so like when I was thinking of people who I wanted to start this off with, instantly was like, I need to ask Heather because Heather is
Aw.
the person ever. And I love your videos. They're like so like calming and nice. And I love, just you have really awesome content too. So I'm not just saying that because you're my guest, but you really do. Like you have really fun and awesome content
Thank you.
that is really important as well. So I thank you for being on this platform. I can't imagine what it would be without, because you definitely have a lot, like you make a big impact, not just on my journey, but on a lot of other people's journeys. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Don't make me cry.
I'm not gonna make you cry. So you said you came on YouTube. It was September 2018, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what made you decide like I'm gonna start a YouTube channel?
Well, we went to Disney World, goodness, I think March of that year.
Mhm.
And we were looking at some videos on YouTube. We didn't realize that the whole pin unboxing and all of that stuff was a big deal. And we went on and we watched a couple of vloggers that were going to the parks.
Yeah,
And so we thought that was really fun. So then it would suggest a different video, and I ran into Disney Kitty, and
yeah,
then later on Miss Cherry, and then there was like a pin tag and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, that would be really fun if we could get to Disney more. I could do more vlogging. Be a lot of fun to share what we love in my family with the world.
yeah.
But that's what really started it. And I remember Jessie Cherry saying once, don't worry about having a camera. Don't worry about this, that, and the other. And I know that's part of another question later. Just start it. If you have a phone, just start your channel. And I told my husband, I was recovering from gallbladder surgery. And I said, you know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to film a video. And it was so much fun. And I can't imagine not doing it.
Yeah. I also don't have my gallbladder, so that's
What?
yeah.
You're so young.
Oh, I know. That's a whole story. But yeah, that's awesome. And I found this out, you've been a collector of pins for a really, really, really long time. Like
Yeah.
the 90s,
Hmm.
which is crazy. How many pins do you think you have in your collection?
Oh my goodness. I had like 5 or 6 of the giant books, like when they first came out. I don't want to spill my coffee. The giant books that had like the 5 pages in them a
Yeah.
long time ago. I had like 5 or 6 of those full, and I've sold all but one book, and I have a couple of bins. So I would say probably 300 now.
Wow. Okay.
But I shudder to think how much money I've spent in years for that.
Do you happen to remember like the first pin you got?
I do. I think I shared it in a video too. And I can't I can't get it now because then you'll see the mess behind me. But it is it's like a little pin of the castle with like the Fab Five in front of it, and it actually has my name on it.
Oh, that is so cute. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen them with names on them. Do they?
It's old.
I wonder if they still. I was like, I don't think they do. That would be awesome though, because like they have like. I just went to a place that had like all the different, they have like keychains and all this stuff. I'm like, I need to like come back with pins that have your name on them, because I feel like that's like any person, even if they're not a pin collector, they're gonna be like, oh, it has my name on it. That's cool.
I know.
That's how I always am. I'm always like tempted, and then I'm like, do I really need this with my name on it?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Honestly, I think it's like I kind of was the same way. I started collecting pins before I realized it was a thing. Like I didn't know people like were so serious about it. But yeah, it's a big thing, and you have quite a many pin unboxings on your channel. So those there's still something you enjoy to do. Yeah.
It used to be so much fun.
Uh-huh.
The boxes were $15. Now they're like $20.
Oh, really?
And I just did one the other day, and I got so many duplicates of the same pin.
No.
And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. First of all, I need to adult a little and start working toward the home that we're buying. And I'm like, I can't justify that. If I want a pin directly, I'm just going to buy the pin.
Yeah, I had that too. Like I like you, I like saw Disney Kitty, and I got so into pins, and I feel like that's a lot of people. But yeah, I like it became quickly like it was a lot of money. Like a lot. And then also, you do get the duplicates sometimes, which I think is hard, especially when you're like, I could just get the pin. Or like if you don't live close to the parks, it's like it's hard to like pin mail is fun, but then it's like you have to, it's a lot to go through. So they are fun though. There's something addictive about like opening one.
Yeah.
Like, surprise. It is
right.
So much fun.
That's how I felt about the mystery boxes too.
Yeah.
I kind of gave all that stuff up.
I'm the same way, Heather. Honestly, I really am. And when I'm still doing my rebrand. I was supposed to come back at the beginning of March. I'm still doing it. But that was like one big part of it is I was like, I'm kind of cutting out all the subscription stuff because it gets to be a lot of money. And it also like a lot of times you do get things like I did Owlcrate before, which is like the fish one. Honestly, I do love Owlcrate, but you do get stuff in there. You're like, I mean, it's just not something I would have picked out for myself. And it's not something I really am going to use. And it's just collecting space and like it's a lot. Hey, Mitch, thank you for coming. Hey. Mitch is so sweet and so supportive. He's from the Roadside Trippers.
Oh, nice.
I lastly, I was so embarrassed because I knew it. I just woken up from a nap right before though. And I like hit me a second, and then he coincidentally had to like hop off, and he's like, I promise it wasn't because of that, like I had something going on. Like, your channel name, it just took me a second.
Yeah, I blank all the time. Hey, Nina.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I blank all the time, and I love filming because I can edit my dingbat moments out.
Yes. That's why it's so hard for me to be live sometimes because I am a squirrel, and also I get so tongue-tied, and I'm like, I struggle. Yeah. All right. So, well, Nina, so sweet. I'm sure. With my weird sunburn. Like, what's so weird?
And look how bright you look, and I look so gray.
Well, I got this beautiful thing called a ring light.
Yeah.
So it's not
I was lazy and didn't plug mine in, so
it's already here. I just keep it here because I know I am very simple and lazy. Okay, so next question. What do you think has been your favorite video that you've ever made? I know this one's a hard one. It's like picking.
Well, one of my recent videos, I'm going to cheat and say two.
Okay, that's fine.
Two different reasons, but they both involve my child.
Okay.
And I don't like to toot my own horn, so I'm going to toot hers. I loved being able to share the documentation of us going on to rides with her wheelchair. I thought that was really cool. I felt like it was something needed for families who might have felt like they couldn't experience rides or that their child or loved one had to sit out. I felt like that's going to be good in the long run. And then another one, for those who are watching who don't know, I have a daughter she's nonverbal in a sense where she cannot communicate in a conversation, but she can say some words. But I had got up to go change out of my pajama pants. But see, there's my tongue tied.
Okay.
I went to go change out of my pajama pants because you could see them in the video when we were filming. And I came back and she was holding up the wishables and talking and doing the intro. And it was so cute because she wasn't really, like, you couldn't understand what she was saying, but like her voice would break like when after she introduced certain parts of it. It was so cute. And I struggled with the acceptance of leaving that in or not. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
Allergies.
I feel you.
I struggled with leaving that in. And then in my heart, I said, you know what? I'm leaving that in. She is part of me. That is my child. And it was so sweet that she has watched me long enough to know how to do it.
Yes.
So I don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to hold back who they are to feel like they need to be accepted or be a specific way. So I think that was kind of a changing moment for me. So that has to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, those are two good choices. And I've actually seen both of those.
Oh.
I know exactly the moment you're talking about. I do. Was it her birthday or was it a Christmas one?
It was birthday. It was like, I celebrate the whole month.
Yes. I remember I did watch that video and I remembered that part. I did. And I'm so happy that you kept it in because it was so precious.
Yeah.
And the wheelchair one too. So I work at a nursing home, so it's a little bit of a different population, but we do a lot of with the wheelchairs and stuff. But I think anything like that, it is so important to share because I think it's something that a lot of people do have questions about, and I think having it out there and like showing people like this is how it actually happens, it does take away some of that probably anxiety because you can read about it, but then like actually seeing it happen, I think is different. I think that's really needed. And that was a really good video. I just watched that recently. So I thought,
yeah, I remember you commenting.
Yes, I did. I thought that was a really good video. And honestly, I actually really loved watching it because I didn't know how they did it. And so seeing how they turn and all that was so cool to me.
It is cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool. And like the three Cavalier, I can't ever say that, but the Fiesta Tour, I didn't know they had the boat. Like that was cool. I had never seen that. So I was really interested. It had a lot of informative things for me that I just love. I always love to learn. So
that's really cool. I know that one and It's a Small World. We load the same way. And I'm thinking, why couldn't we do that on Pirates and just have it lower? But then there's that little drop in Pirates, and I don't think it would be a safety issue. But I thought it was fun to like share it with people who maybe with the families, like I said, but also like those who don't have anyone with special needs in their life, and they're wondering why they're being held up a few minutes or what's the point of this. But they get to see like real Disney magic and inclusion, and so that's really important.
I agree. I love videos. Nina says she loves seeing Michaela in the videos. My family is hanging out with yours. I also love seeing Michaela in videos.
Thank you. I know Nina's mom says, what does she call her? She says she's the girl who likes little things because she has some sensory issues and she likes to hold things that are this little and stim on them a little bit. So it's really cute that her mom has given her a cute little nickname, the girl who likes little things.
Yes. And I think she's talking about the moment specifically with her opening the wishables and narrating, but it is true. Like that is one thing I love about YouTube is it captures little moments that like you can't imagine not having on camera. So
I struggle with that.
Thank you for joining.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Heather. What were you saying? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I don't.
It's okay.
Oh, I struggled with if I was going to actually start bringing her in videos in the beginning, but I'm glad that I did,
Yeah. What do you think has been your biggest accomplishment since you started YouTube? You gotta brag on yourself a little.
I think when we all start out with the channel, we kind of get this image of what we should be. And well, if this person is getting a lot of views, this is how we should be. Or if people are drawn to this is how we should be. And so we kind of get muddled and lose ourselves along the way. So I was happy that, I guess, 2021, I kind of put both feet on the ground and I said, you know what, I'm not going to be, I don't know, I guess it's generic to say cookie cutter, but if someone wants to stick around, they're going to stick around because they enjoy a friendship with me,
Yeah.
not because I need to be doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So just being authentic to myself and true to myself and being bold in my faith. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's, that's about it. That's a good accomplishment, I think, because
It is.
I struggled.
I think that's a big one because I feel like you saying that, I think it's definitely relatable to me, and I think it's relatable to a lot of people because we obviously, like most people, I would say probably at least 90% of the people, you start because you see someone else and you're
Yes.
like, "Oh, this is cool. Like I want to do that." And so you do start off based on someone else in a way. Like you
Yes.
saw them do it and now you want to do it. And
Right.
so I think finding like your own path and like being you and making sure
Mhm.
you are you on there is
Mhm.
important. And I think a lot of people do try to imitate like
Mhm.
personality wise or like try to be like, oh, they're like this and this is successful. So I think it's important. We actually had a sermon on it recently about, people having certain gifts in life and like,
Mhm.
if everyone's an eyeball and no one's an ear, then like you
Yeah.
can't hear, right? So
Right.
like everyone has different talents and like finding what makes you unique and like playing to that and like letting that be just authentic, I think is great. And you do an awesome, like you're obviously an awesome personality. A lot of people love your videos. I
Really?
love your videos. And so I think you're doing a good job, but
I feel like I'm always like an airhead or
no,
grumpy.
I do
Yeah.
not get that at all. I
Really?
don't.
Okay. Because
No,
sometimes I edit and I'm like, oh, that was really cringy.
yeah, I do get it. I used to like film videos and I would just be so drained and I'm
Mhm.
like I don't come off fun at all because
Mhm.
I feel like I am a pretty like I feel like I'm a pretty like I try to be fun and
Yeah.
light, but like sometimes you're just so tired and you're filming and I'm like, I just isn't my personality 'cause
Yeah.
you're so exhausted.
Uh-huh.
You're just trying to film the video. So that it sometimes is hard to like
Yeah.
be how you want to be in a video.
Right. Yeah. I definitely get that. I mean, you can tell, I can tell going back and watching any of my videos or something because someone will say something in an old comment or
Mhm.
an older video. They'll go back and comment on it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll watch that and I'm like, I don't look happy at all. And I can remember filming that specific day or something when something was a little off or I was really tired and you can just tell.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's hard.
you know,
It's definitely hard.
yeah, we don't get paid for this.
No. No, yeah, and I especially like we were talking about getting tongue-tied and stuff. Sometimes I will be filming like the video that's not even gonna come up, the readathon announcement. I was getting so tongue twisted. I had to redo it so many times. And I literally said at the end, I'm like, I'm never doing a video like this again. Like, I'm so done.
Oh,
It took me so long. And I just messed it up. And then like it took me forever to edit because I wanted it to be good. And then by the time I got it done, I was like, I'm not even putting it up. So it's fine. It's but you kind of it is hard. I feel like, we especially when you're busy, you're like, oh, but it's supposed to be fun. And I
yeah,
do still have that video.
you do. You do.
Fine. I may end up still using it somehow when I do my like recap or something. So you
That'll
never.
be fun.
Yeah. Tim said, "Be true to your heart," which I think is good.
Oh,
And Luna also said Disney Kitty was who she started off of. I feel like it's pretty common. I feel like I don't know, we all just found Disney Kitty around the same time.
yeah, I know, right? I was drawn to her because I'd already started, I'd collected for years.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing her, I'm like, oh my gosh, all these mystery packs. And I was never a mystery pack person. Saw them in the parks, but I'm like, I was kind of picky.
Yeah.
So I didn't want the luck of the draw. I wanted specific pins. And I've got some pretty rare ones. And, I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want all of these in a pin pack. And then what did I do? I got sucked in.
That is how it always happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's always that first one. The first one. Tim, you better watch out. Katie. I got Katie, Tim's wife. She had never done a pin unboxing, and we went to Disney, and I got her to do 2, and I have them on film, and they will eventually, when I'm done editing, will be out. So watch out. Katie may be heading down our path. We don't know.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out the channel.
She had, they do some really awesome travel videos, some travel vlogs. Tim, I'm gonna brag on you a second. So Mitch, like I said, Mitch and Devin, they are from Roadside Trippers. They're both vlog channels, and they both do awesome videos, really good editing. Tim has got to teach me his ways one day, but I would never know how. He is like, I don't even know how he does what he does, but everyone's channels are so good, and you need to check them out. They have really good vlogs, and I may be on some of Tim and Katie's vlogs in the future. Just gonna throw that out there. We may be having that come up.
Nice.
I wanted to go back to this comment. Nina says, ever since getting to know Heather and her channel, whenever I see someone nonverbal, I say hello to them. I used to never interact before, but Heather and Michaela taught me not to be afraid. That's so sweet.
And you know I love you, Nina.
That's so sweet.
That is sweet. And I'll tell you what we deal with a lot is people will come up to us and they'll say, oh, what is her name? And to me, it's nice when they say, oh, what's her name? And then I have to answer for her, because at least she feels included, even though I do answer for her, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really sweet that you do that, Nina.
Yeah. And I think, like Nina said, I do think some people, like, sometimes you're just like, I don't want to do the wrong thing, that you don't know what to do, right? Like you just don't know how to approach that situation. So I do think that's good to like know now, like, you know, because even though like that's not something I guess I would have known. So now I'm like, you know, I can take that and know that myself. So that's good.
Yeah. I mean, if you're really nervous, if someone's in a chair, you could always comment on the color of their chair. And Michaela's got the little casters on hers are lights, so whenever they spin, they light up. So she gets a lot of jabber over that. Like she loves the attention over that. So, you know, you could always mention something like that. Or a lot of times we'll see someone with a graphic tee on, has special needs, whether they're autistic, Down syndrome, whatever. And we're like, hey, bud, that's a really cute shirt. I love XYZ, whatever it is, you know? And that's just a really cute way to still let the person know they matter, even if you're not sure what to say.
Yeah. I think, you know, like I said, I'm in healthcare. So I definitely, I do try to like, you know, you have to kind of find something with every patient that you can kind of talk to. But also as well with wheelchairs, one thing that I had, they kind of taught us in school. So I don't know if this is something necessarily that you agree with, but in school, they kind of taught us too, like if you're talking to someone in a wheelchair, you know, you try to get down to their level, because if you're like over them, like if you're standing, sometimes it can be a little more intimidating. Now, I don't necessarily know that in every situation you can, but like, so sometimes like if I'm talking to someone in a wheelchair, like I'll try to like either sit down or like get where I'm like more like face to face necessarily, you know what I mean? Not like in their face, but like we're on the same level to where you can have, so it's not like over them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was something they suggested to us in school. I don't necessarily know that that's like something everyone would recommend, but that's something that I do think it helps to be more connected with someone, you know, because you're getting to like see their face a little better.
Yeah. I definitely have heard like squatting down to their level or taking a seat, but the bending over to talk to them has always was told to me that it was disrespectful. And I'm like, you know what? If you're interacting with my child, just do it. I don't care how you do it.
No, I was meaning, like a squat. I wouldn't bend, but I would do, like a squat or like a sit in the chair. That's always what I do. So I can understand how the bending over would be for sure.
Yeah.
It's too late to save Katie from the pancreas. I'm sorry. I have played a part in that. All right.
It's expensive. Run away.
It is. I told her that. I told her that. I was like, it's expensive. It's expensive.
It is.
All right. Next question. Sure. What do you think has been the biggest struggle since you've started your channel?
I guess the creative. Oh gosh, here we go. We're doing so good. The creative side of it has been a little bit of a challenge. There's been times, and it's so funny, there's been times where I've actually bought the stuff for a DIY that day, and that next day someone has gotten the video up pretty much with the exact same thing. So that happens in this community because everyone just has such a love for Disney that, everyone's mind goes there. And so I never like being I guess not necessarily a copycat, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want someone's video to go up tomorrow and then mine goes up the next day. And like, I was here first, I don't have that kind of attitude. So I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't want to step on toes or anything, or
Yeah.
I guess that's been a struggle, is because I don't like conflict.
Yeah. No,
So I definitely don't want to create any of it. So.
yeah. That's always so hard. I've had that happen too, where you're like, it's like, that you're not a copycat. Like, you had the idea, like, maybe not before they did, but before you knew about,
Right. Yeah.
Before they posted anything, and then they'll post it and you're like, no,
Mhm.
everyone's going to think I'm a copycat.
I know.
Even if it's not true, because it's after.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate side of like doing
It
content
is.
creating, is it's like, you're like, I have the Google Doc that proves it was on my Google Doc
Right.
date.
Uh-huh.
But you kind of, at some points, you kind of have to be like, oh, well,
Yeah. And there was like, I do a lot of DIY crafts for the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And they had those cute little trinket boxes. And I said, you know what? I am going to make my child a advent calendar. And I said, I'm doing it in July because I know if I wait until November, someone's going to beat me to it. So I did it. I was like, Christmas in July, Christmas advent calendar. I mean,
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. I was so excited to do it. It was pretty pricey because you had to get 25 boxes. Yeah. So
Okay.
kind of pricey, but still some of the advent calendars that are really beautiful and like the farmhouse look, $50 or more. So I still felt like it was a really good way to make it yourself.
Yeah, I agree. We had a few more people come in.
Oh, hi.
Thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are great.
Hello.
Thank you for popping in. Okay, so next question. This one is a fun one I always love to ask, which are, what tips would you give people who are just starting out with a YouTube channel, or maybe wanting to improve their YouTube channel? What tips?
Oh goodness, mine needs a lot of improvement. So
Mine is too, honestly.
I'm gonna have to preach to myself.
Well, I feel like improvement honestly can be like, I feel like even like the best channels can improve. You can always improve. So I would just say, anyone that's looking to like do something new with their channel, or like wanting to get any tips, like what do you do that like works for you, and what tips would you give?
I would just say whatever you're most passionate about, try to stay in that. Is it niche? Is it the word? I always say that wrong, but try to stay in that, because if you see my channel, I'm so wishy-washy. I have so many interests. I want to give it all, and I want to share it all because that's what makes me happy. But I think that it also puts a higher demand to learn how to balance equal Disney, equal books, equal whatever else I'm doing. And that makes it much harder because you don't know to hold yourself to those commitments. You don't know how hard that's going to be until you're stuck in the middle of doing so many things,
Yeah.
So I would say find whatever you're passionate about and stick to it, and, just have fun. And if you're not having fun, it's definitely going to show. We were just talking about that earlier, that, you can go back and you can tell when I'm having a bad day in a video. And I feel like if you have to force it, then it's not as fun, and you don't want to film when you don't have the joy in it. So
yeah,
just do what makes you happy.
Yeah, we are very similar in that sense of like, I don't really like niche. I don't know what a niche is, honestly, but I will say to that, I got to a point where like everything I got, I felt like I had to film it, and I'm like, you just can't. I mean, there are people who can, and if you can do that, that is awesome. I just got to a point where I had to be like, no, you don't need to film this. Like, no, you're not going to edit it. It's just like, so you kind of do have to like prioritize, like, what are you most passionate about? What do you want to share the most? Because I think you can easily get overwhelmed, because I feel like that's what I definitely do. So
yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. She said, Tim said, you got to love what you do or it's not worth doing.
Right.
I agree. Is there anything else you wish you like would have known before you started your channel?
That being a Disney YouTuber can make you go broke.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about subscription boxes and pins and all of those things. And I've kind of, I mean, I did do a pin unboxing the other day. But I've just kind of felt around and see what subscription boxes that I really wanted. And first of all, they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then even though they try to be catering to your preferences and stuff like that, a lot of times you still don't get the things you want, or you just end up with so many things you don't know what to do with. And I'm thinking, how do these people open boxes all the time? What do they do with their stuff? Because I feel like just in the little time that I've done it, it's stuff on top of stuff. So first of all, make sure you have the financial means to be consistent with that if that's something you love to do, and make sure you have space to put it, because I still question what people are doing with all of their stuff.
Yeah. Mine is a wreck because I got to a point where I was like, I literally cannot even like buy anything else because I just have too much stuff. It's just a mess.
Yeah. We've been trying to pack to move, and I'm like, I am going to have the biggest yard sale. I mean, I just don't need all of this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it accumulates very fast, like you said. It's like 1 second, you're like, what happened?
I know.
All this stuff.
Like, I only wanted one Funko Pop. What happened?
Right? Oh, yeah, I remember when I got my first Funko Pop, and then it went boom. I'm like, it's like, how did that happen? Just this one Funko Pop.
I know. They're so cute, though.
Happens quick. What do you think are some goals you have for your channel this year?
Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. That's hard.
Sorry.
No, it's just, I love sharing book content. But again, my brain and my thoughts get rattled. For people who are new here, I have chemo brain, and it doesn't always flow like I want it to, or I'll have a concept that just doesn't work out well, I guess, if you want to say. So I just want to slow down a little bit, be more intentional. Like you said, not post and not share everything. I was sharing every time I got a Grove order, and, just every little thing like that. Be more intentional with the things that I'm uploading, what I love the most. I think I'm going to get back to sharing some of our pen collection instead of opening them. Maybe go to some of our older pens that people in the newer collection side of that I don't know, edit that. Can you edit that out?
Okay.
People who are new collectors.
Yeah.
Can see some of the older things and what was driving us 40-something-year-olds to collect pens.
Yeah. Well, you know what too, Heather? I feel like there was one video I did, and I talked about these pens, and the set I talked about, like, you couldn't even get anymore. Like, it was over. And I remember like when I was like editing it, I like texted one of my friends that lives at the park, and I was like, hey, is this even available anymore? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, this is going to do terrible. Like, no, they can't even get it anymore. Like, they're not going to, like, if they can't buy it for themselves now, they're not going to care. Because it was like very, like, it's like a review essentially of this, pack. And I mean, it did pretty decent, honestly. And I was really shocked about it because I was like, man, like, people do have an interest in things, even if they can't, get them anymore, especially like with your collection. I know, like, some of your really older pens, like there are so many people that would be very interested, I think, to see some of those.
Yeah. I have one that I don't ever want to part with. It's Merlin's Magic Shop. So it's like got a dangle element to it, and it's Main Street of Disneyland, I think. And it's so cute. And I don't know. It's one that I remember getting pretty early, and I've never seen anyone else share it. So it's nice to have those little pieces that, other people don't have,
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I want to get back into, whether I'm just highlighting 5 or so per video. I think that's a goal for my channel this coming year. So
yeah, I think that's a great goal.
Since I can't ever process thoughts properly.
You do a good job. You do. Yard sales are a lot of fun. I do have to be so careful because I will buy more than I need. I have to be now where before I buy something, I'm like, where would I put this? What does it bring joy? Like, I have to ask myself a lot of questions before I allow myself to purchase anything. Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that rule? If you buy one thing, you got to get rid of 2.
Oh, is it? I've not heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm like, I don't know if I have 2 things right now I want to get rid of, but I know I need to. So
Yeah. I need to get rid of a lot of things.
Mhm.
Mitch says that he collects the Tiny Kingdoms.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are so little.
Those
Now,
are-
Mitch, do you put them on the map? Isn't there a map that comes with those? I think I saw the Disney sisters share those. They're so little.
Those are cute though. Those are
Yeah, and they do. I think they come in 3 in a box, right? I never went down that rabbit hole, but I'm gonna come check yours out if you've got them on a video.
Heather's like, maybe I will.
I'll just live through you, okay?
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch your pin videos so I don't buy pins. Okay. So I have asked you the hard creator questions, and now is the fun questions. Although I know we were talking about one of these backstage that is like still really hard.
Oh no, we're getting the book one, aren't we?
We'll start with an easier one, okay? Which is, what is your favorite park to go to? And I also want to know what you think like Michaela's favorite one is to go to. I'm
Oh
interested.
goodness. I would have to say we would both pick Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think from early on, that's just a nostalgic thing for me, being able to walk down Main Street and you see the castle when you kind of turn that corner a little bit. And I don't know, it's just a happy feeling. And then also her seeing the castle, and her first visit was when she was 2. So she was able to experience more, and we could hold her on rides and stuff like that. So I think that overall that's been our favorite. But yeah, I think she would pick that too.
That's a good pick. I'm sorry, my dog is barking.
That's okay.
Mitch says he doesn't have the map. He's been putting them in the open spaces on his pin board.
Cute.
That is cute. That is cute. I'll have to. I don't know. I don't think y'all have done a video on it though, Mitch. They do mostly do the vlogs, but I would be interested in a video. So if you want to do a video,
Yeah, do a pin board tour or something.
a pin board tour. I would love it. I didn't even know you collected pins, so I think that's so cool. Animal Kingdom is a really good pick, honestly. I honestly love all the parks. Yeah. I always said Magic Kingdom, which is hard. I guess I would still say Magic Kingdom, but they're all like pretty close to me. Like I genuinely love all the parks so much. It's like hard for me. I know as soon as I saw Tim, I was like, he's gonna say Animal Kingdom. Tim and Katie both love Animal Kingdom, but Magic Kingdom is like nostalgic though. Like I feel like no one would pick. Well, I wouldn't say no one would pick Magic Kingdom to get rid of. Like if they had to pick one of the 4, there probably are people who would. But like I feel like most people would be like, not that one, because it is so nostalgic. It has the castle and everything. It's just fireworks. Perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Mitch said he's a Hollywood Studios guy. I also really like Hollywood Studios.
They had kind of went downhill, in my opinion, for a while. But we experienced the Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We loved it. And I love Star Wars, but I'm not like a super fan. I couldn't tell you all of the characters' names. But I had the best time. I felt so fully immersed in all of that. It would be hard to cut that part too.
Yeah, that is what I love. Like, and Pandora too. Pandora and Galaxy's Edge, like are 2 of the most immersive parts. I feel like when I think of being in, like you feel like you're there.
Right.
You feel like you just got dropped into this world, and that is just like so crazy. Like to feel like you're in a different world, you know, like. I think Disney's great about like putting you like you feel like you're cute, like you're on like Main Street and stuff, and it's really adorable. But then like you're like, bam, you're in Galaxy's Edge or Pandora, and you're like, I'm on a whole different planet. Like it's so crazy. Oh yeah. So those are both hard. Epcot is also a really really good one. I love all the countries. Like I'm a big like nerd about countries, and so I love it. I love to see like all of the different representations and stuff. And so I can't imagine cutting up. I couldn't imagine cutting any of these. I would just not be able to pick, honestly, like which one I would have to cut. You're good. Okay, it is time for the question. Okay, that you've been dreading. So bring only 3 books with you on a desert island to live
You're
out
killing me.
your life, which 3 would you pick?
Killing me, Smalls. Okay. um. Okay. Please don't laugh at me for the guys listening. Nicholas Sparks, Every Breath would be one of them because I absolutely loved that book. I thought the way he put the forward in there that this was based on a true story. And then we read the book and I cried 5 times reading that book. At the end of the book, it was a big fat lie, but I still loved it enough that I would read it again. So that was a really good one. And then, oh shoot, I had one in my mind and I can't think now. That's what happens. Things just fall out.
It's okay.
You know, when you turn 40, you'll get there.
I mean, it happens to me now, and I'm like, no. I forget things so much. So I definitely. Yeah.
Okay. This also might be cheesy to some.
Okay.
But you probably know this as well. Every single time that you pick up the Bible, you're going to read something, and then whatever season you are in your life, you may look at it a different way, or it speaks to you a different way. So for that reason, it will be never change. You know,
yeah,
it will be ever changing. So I'm going to pick that as well, and then we're going to throw it in a completely different gear again, which I did tell you. And this, I know, it's completely irrelevant, and I'm just going to say Twilight, and let's go. And because it got me out of a reading slump. So
yeah. I would also say the Bible. I think that one's a really, really good pick. I'd have to pick one of my Harry Potter ones, but I don't know which one I'd pick. I would pick a Harry Potter book probably.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That one's hard, honestly.
It is hard, but you made me do it.
I know, I did make you do it.
And you know, I've never read any of the Harry Potter books.
Have you not? Girl. They're good. They're good. And that's like, I've only read them through all the way one time. I would probably pick the 5th one just because I feel like there's a lot that happens. It's like one of the longest ones too. So I'm on a desert island. You know, the first one is like so little, and then the 5th one is like this big. And so like obviously I'm gonna take the 5th one because I can read it. It takes up more of my day.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that one's got a bit more intricate stuff going on.
Yeah.
Or maybe the 6th one. And then this one's so cheesy, and I don't know if you've ever read this book either, but I'd probably pick Jane Eyre. It's a long one.
That's a really good choice.
It's a long one, and which I read it. I had to read it for school. I was the only one. We were allowed in my 12th grade literature class to pick, I think it was from like 4 or 5 different classics. And I was the only person in my class that picked Jane Eyre because it was so long. Everyone else was like, we're not doing it. But I like read the synopsis of all of them, and I'm like, it is Jane Eyre. That is the one for me. And I read it so fast because I love that book so much. Wow. It's so good. So
that's awesome.
Those would be my picks for sure.
That was really cool.
Mitch said he would bring How to Survive in the Wild, How to Build a Shelter, and something with a lot of fun. You're not wrong.
I know.
That's true. I used to have like this well, I think it was my grandfather's, and I just somehow like brought it into my room as a kid, and I just kept it there on my bookshelf because I thought it was cool. It was this huge like survival guide of like you being in the wilderness. And it was so boring. I never read it as a kid. I like would look through the pages. I can remember what the pages look like. But that would be a good choice. Like if I still have that somewhere, that would probably be a good choice to bring. I should probably replace Harry Potter with that book.
I know. I was going to try to replace Twilight with The Giver. I don't know if you've ever read that one. It was really good. I was going to replace that, but I think that I just need to get this book.
Yeah. The Giver kind of made me sad. I don't know why. It just, it has like its moment. I don't know if I would like be able to read that one a lot, but I did really like. It's one of my favorite books. I think that one. See, we made it. We made it through that.
We did.
Me and you both, because I always make these questions and then I never like think of my answers. So when it's my like when I'm gonna contribute, I'm like, I don't know, because these just pop in my brain. Okay, this next one is kind of fun. I've actually not asked this one on a live before.
Ooh.
So if you could like bring one ride to Disney, like, so if it's in, like, I would say like inspired by your favorite movie, maybe. So like, I know, we didn't have this question before, but me and Tim both have said this, but like the Emperor's New Groove, like the roller coaster, when it's like Yzma and Kronk going to the lair, like that would be fun. So like if
Oh
you can
gosh.
think of like a movie, it doesn't have to be super specific like that, but if you can think of like a movie of like, this movie I feel like isn't represented enough at Disney, which movie like or character would you like to see like more at Disney?
Well, I kind of got my dream come true because we were huge Ratatouille fans, like right out the gate. We were so excited. I remember being Christmas and the trailer dropped, and we were standing there in front of the TV. We got up from Christmas dinner and we're going to watch during the Christmas Day parade, or it was brunch or something. But we were watching that trailer and we were so excited. So whenever Paris got the ride, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to get the ride here. And so when they brought it, made my heart so happy. Oh gosh, that's really hard though.
I know. That is a hard question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Beauty and the Beast has got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. They don't have a ride though.
That's true. But I was trying to think.
Well, that would actually be a really nice dark ride, like Beauty and the Beast. Like kind of how they have the Little Mermaid dark ride.
Yeah, that would work.
I think Beauty and the Beast would be a really nice dark ride, actually.
Yeah. Because, we love Beauty and the Beast. We love Snow White.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is really hard.
I'm sorry.
It's a great question. I just never really thought about it before.
Are you a fan of the Mine Train?
Love it.
Yeah.
We love it. But we always get stuck in the back because that's where they we pick Michaela up and put her on it. So they always put you on the back row. One, it's not the buckets that swing, so you don't get that. And then you get less time seeing the witch knocking at the door.
Yeah.
So, because we're so far back. But I just love those little elements. Those are really cute.
So I didn't know that about like different parts of the train. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's stationary.
That one's a good one. I remember the first time I rode it, we had to wait forever. Obviously, it was like right after it opened, and talking about, you can tell when someone's not happy. Our ride photos, I was so irate because I was just like, oh, this is like so late. I don't even know why. I was in a mood. Like that trip, I was like 18. I also didn't like Jungle Cruise that time. And then I came back in 2019 and I loved Jungle Cruise and I loved the Mine Train. I don't know what happened between those 4 years, but
oh my goodness.
I changed. Yeah. So I do like it now. I was like, also got a fast passport though. So maybe that was it. The 2-hour wait didn't occur.
It is a very short ride. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
It's short. Very short. That's partly why I was disappointed. And then it was like, you feel like you're going up and then it like slows you a little. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
That is a really good idea. That air balloon. That's cute. They do have in Disney Springs the big hot air balloon you can go up in, but it's not all the little balloons.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking too that, you know how like the ET ride at Universal Studios, you're up in the air, or like Peter Pan, that one's up in the air.
Yeah.
You could definitely do that and then cross through Paradise Falls, and that's a great idea.
That's a good one. Do you know which one? We already have a magic carpet ride.
Mm-hmm.
But like a magic carpet ride that's kind of like Peter Pan, I think I would also love, because
that would be fun.
I love that whole scene. So that's another one of my faves.
That is great.
Yes. All right. I did want to just mention we had a friendship breakup here in the chat because Wishing Mouse said that she would happily cut Animal Kingdom.
Oh.
It's okay. You are still friends for real. But that was just funny. I saw that and I was like, yeah. It was Animal Kingdom is one too that also grew on me because at one point it was like, it probably was my least favorite park, but I like it a lot now.
Yeah.
Pandora did a lot to help because that one's. Have you ever ridden Flight of Passage before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. it was a lot of fun, and I feel like we enjoyed it so much more on this trip than the first time we rode it, because at first we didn't know what to expect, so we were holding her on, and so we were sitting on each side of her, so we were kind of holding her, trying to pay attention, and like this time we realized, this ride's got her. It's good. I can put one hand over but not be obsessively holding on to her.
Yeah.
And we just kind of enjoyed it this time.
Yeah.
It was weird looking up and seeing like the rows of that. Have you ever looked up to see that?
No, what?
If you kind of look up, you can see all of the rows. Like, in soaring, whenever they bring you up, there are so many different layers and levels of that same ride. It is kind of trippy.
What? I did not know. I've only ridden it one time. I ended up getting a fast pass, and literally I was so lucky. It was a whole experience. I won't tell the whole story. Like, I was getting ready to get on Dinosaur, and I was in this like time like crunch, and I got lost. It was this whole thing for me to get on. So I was just like rushing to get to my fast pass, but I didn't have to wait very long, and I get on there, and I literally get the worst motion sickness ever. I actually just talked on Tim and Katie's. They have a Tuesday Night Live. We just talked about motion sickness, and I get so motion sick on like the Harry Potter castle ride. Universal. I've heard it does bad on everyone, but like, oh, that one takes me out. I cannot. But yeah, so I was nervous. I think I was so nervous. I just was like holding on, and I was like, I just got to breathe like really deep and like just stare straight ahead. But that was an awesome experience. I feel like if I would have done that though, I definitely would have like thrown up. If I tried to look anywhere else.
Please don't look up.
I just was like, let me just look straight ahead and like keep breathing.
Yeah. That is really cool.
I do want to go back though. It was honestly, I got off of it, and I would say that is my favorite ride. Like, because it was such a great experience.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you didn't get sick.
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything coming up on your channel in the next like month or so, or anything coming up soon that you would like to talk about or share?
We are still, well, it's coming to an end, but the Murder, She Read readathon is still going on, and I have failed miserably at getting my vlogs. Getting all those vlogs out has been pretty tough, but I plan on having the rest of those coming out, and then I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go ahead and share those pins just to get them out there, get the dust off and show them some love a little bit. And then I've got a couple of book hauls coming and things like that. So yeah. I'm trying to do what I love. So I don't know if I'm going to be consistently posting 2 times a week. I feel like it's getting a little bit harder. My mom moved in with us right at Christmas, so I don't have the freedom to roam about like I used to film. So just finding the time to do it is tough right now, but I'm hoping to just share some more pens and share some books and try to come up with some Disney recipes. I have a Disney cookbook that I want to get into.
Yeah.
And, I think that I'll be cooking some stuff pretty soon.
What is your favorite snack to get at Disney?
Well, anybody watching that knows me really well is going to know that I go crazy over their popcorn.
Yeah.
But I'm a salty person for like snacks, and I'm a salty person. That's not what
I was like, I'm not going to say anything. You're not. You're really not.
I love salty snacks. So I love like pretzels and things like that. So. Oh my gosh.
No, the popcorn is really good though, honestly. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to get that and the pretzels, but we also like to get the fruit Nutella waffle. Is that considered a snack?
Yes, it is considered. It's a snack credit. It is good.
Okay.
Is it Sleepy Hollow,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that last time. Well, last time I went to Magic Kingdom, and it was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
We get that, and we get the chicken sandwich with the coleslaw on it.
Yeah.
And it's got a little spice to it, so we eat part of one and part of the other. We all share it. It's so good. Like, you have to have both. You can't just have one. So yeah, that's our favorite.
Oh yeah, the chocolate covered pineapple.
Ooh, I've never got that.
I haven't either. I honestly have not had pineapple a whole lot, but I would try it. Anything chocolate. I mean,
Oh, wow.
I'm down to try.
See, I almost sent you some chocolate, but I was scared it was going to get really hot and melt somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
It's okay. No, listen, those gummy worms. So this is like a spoiler for anyone that is going to watch. Heather sent me a book box, and I told her that I loved sour gummies, and she like did me so good, and it was all my favorites, and I ate them all in 3 days. It was so bad. They're already gone. I filmed the video.
God.
They're already gone. Oh, so good. Like so good. And I don't think my person has watched this, but like I had to get some for my person too. I got them some, and it's taking like all my willpower. I keep looking at them like they are for someone else. Do not eat these. I gotta hurry up and get it shipped off. So like I don't eat them because I like if they're in my house, I'm like, oh, like they're so good.
I got myself one of was it the mixed berry? The
Yeah.
trolley ones? Oh my gosh. I got myself one and those were gone in a day.
They
were so good.
They're
Yeah.
so good. And the so I like Sour Patch Kids in general, but the watermelon ones
Those are my
are
favorite.
my favorites.
Yep.
So it's great.
Those are my favorite too.
Yeah.
I like the peach ones too. The peach rings.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy Sunday, Christina. Thank you for joining
Hey.
us. So last fun question. Oh, she said peach rings are her favorite.
Oh, they are so good.
Are good.
Yep.
So last question, kind of going on food. What is like your favorite sit down restaurant at Disney? Or one of your favorites?
Ooh. Well, we used to love Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
We really liked that one a lot. But I think a lot of it was first of all, the quality of food that we got every time was really good. Mm-hmm. I've heard mixed reviews on that. But we never had bad service. Our food was always cooked properly, cooked perfect temperature. Everything was great. And then I think part of it was the anticipation of getting to meet the Beast afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think that we really, really like that one a lot. We tend to do the character dining. We like that a lot. So we most of the time will do breakfast with the character meet and greets, but then we'll do like quick service dinner. But that is one that we always tend to splurge on the most.
Yeah, that one's so nice. I haven't ever been, but I like will see people's vlogs. And I'm like just the scenery of it, like just feeling like you're there. Do y'all usually dine in like the ballroom, or where have y'all been?
We always get in the main room where the snow's coming down.
Okay.
Outside. That's really pretty. But you're free to get up and walk around and look at all of the rooms. So they're all really nice. Like you can go in the West Wing where the painting is ripped, and you can walk right up to the magic mirror thing and the rose petals falling. And then the other one with the gigantic music box of them dancing. You can walk in there and look at all of that. So
that's so cool.
You know, I don't think there's bad seating there at all, but we do like the snow coming down.
Tim said, Be Our Guest is an amazing experience, but it has diminishing returns. Once you've done it, it's not as exciting to go back.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, we didn't go this time because there were no character meet and greet at the end. So
Christina said the French onion soup is still talked about.
Thank you. Thank you. That is my favorite.
I will have to go. I feel like that's another one we were talking about being so immersed in.
Yeah.
Like I just like seeing it, even like seeing it from like, you know, going into Fantasyland, and just like, I just like to stand there like where they're letting people in and be like, oh, it looks so cool. Just like, it's, I can't imagine like how awesome it is on the actual inside of it.
Yeah. So. And you can go right up to the doors to take pictures. I didn't know if you knew that. On the bridge. You can take them on the bridge. You can take them right in front of the doors.
I didn't know this. Yeah. But it's okay. Next time I'm hoping I'll get to go.
Yeah.
I just want to experience it one time. Did you try the great stuff when y'all went?
We did the first time. Yeah. Second time, I don't think we did.
Is it delicious?
If you like Oreos.
Do you not like Oreos?
I do. I don't know. It was kind of a letdown for me because I could make it at home. It's a pretty simple recipe. So it reminds me of the old dirt cake. I don't know if you ever ate that. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, yeah. I sure have.
So I'm like,
Tim says B still comes through several times during the meal. No formal meeting and greeting for now, but he waves hi to everyone. I feel like that's so cute.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was all of our questions. Thank you so much, Heather, for joining me today. I've enjoyed getting to talk to you, and I'm sure everyone here has enjoyed you sharing about your journey and in general about, content creating. And I loved learning a little bit more about Michaela and hearing you talk about that. About the video. I was excited to hear you talk about the video that I watched the other day because I really want to bring that up too. So I was like, I'm so happy that you mentioned it because it was already on my list to bring up. So it works perfectly. But Heather's channel is the Disney Housewife. So all of her links are in the description box down below. So if you guys happen to not be subscribed to her, please make sure to check out all of her links and give her a subscribe and a follow on Instagram. And thank you to everyone who has been in the comments today. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much for joining us and for interacting. I've loved hearing your answers as well, which I love, like hearing what you guys have to say anytime, because that just adds a lot. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And I actually will probably be taking a little bit of a hiatus from these for a little bit, just because with Easter coming up, and also I do have a vacation planned coming up, just certain things. I feel like it is better for me to go ahead and take a break. So I will not be having lives for a few weeks, but I will start having some videos come up on this day that are kind of related. So you'll have that. So if you're not subscribed to me and you would like to be, you can hit the subscribe button. It would make me happy. You don't have to, but it's free.
Please
and it would make me happy. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.